These are the 33 best quality of life mods to improve Project Zomboid. Starting off with a quintessential mod, Common Sense. This adds a whole bunch of features that just make sense. Are you tired of locked doors? Well, grab yourself a crowbar and you can pry them open. Or at least attempt to. Nice. It's not always guaranteed to open. You can attempt to pry open any door, garage, window, or vehicle, and the chance of success is determined by your strength, panic, and strength levels, as well as your profession. Another feature is being able to open canned foods with a variety of items, such as knives, screwdrivers, spoons, forks, etc. Another one that saves some fuss is the ability to equip items off of the floor. Now this one is great. There's a whole bunch of other features, including more washing options, better recipes, making sheets, and a few more that you can check out for yourself. But overall, I would say this is definitely a must-have mod. Number 2. I don't need a lighter. I'm assuming most of us take the smoker trait, as it is basically 3 points. But in Zomboid, there's no way to do so without matches or a lighter. But if we're being realistic, there's many ways around that in real life, such as the stove. You could also use a barbecue, or even bump a light off a nearby friend who is also smoking. Or do so with the car lighter. Number 3 is clear description for moodles. In vanilla, the moodles don't give you much information, but with this mod, you can see exactly how they're affecting you. And this can be very helpful to know what you're dealing with. Knowing you have minus 80% melee damage, you'd probably avoid some fights, which could save your life. This mod is absolutely essential. Number 4. Read while walking. So I'm sure, as you know, reading takes a very long time in Zomboid, and just sitting in a cupboard fast forwarding time gets very boring. So this mod kind of combats that. A bonus feature is pressing R to instantly start reading whatever book is in your inventory. And the same goes whilst you're reading. If you're playing on multiplayer where you can't speed up time, you have to just sit there and wait, which is very, very long and boring. So this at least gives you the chance to do a bit of exploring, even if you're just walking around your base. It is definitely better than just sitting still for hours on end. I wouldn't recommend going out into the world though. It's a dangerous place and your vision is very limited. But this mod is just very nice to have. Number 5 is backpack borders. This mod is a small UI tweak that adds a background and border to the container buttons in Zomboid's inventory windows. In vanilla, they can be quite difficult to see, especially when using a dark backpack or a black duffel bag. This just makes it easier to see and separate them. Very simple, yet effective. At number 6 we have proximity inventory. It's a long and tedious process to look through a mountain of corpses in search of those cigarettes you so badly need. But this mod offers the perfect solution with a global inventory. As you can see, everything in proximity can be looted in one screen. A massive time saver. And there's my cigarettes. Perfect. This also works with all kinds of storage containers. But if you're not a fan of that, you can simply turn that off in Sandbox and keep it to zombies only. At lucky number 7 we have Map Symbol Size Slider. This one is simple but comes in very handy. The symbols come at one standard size, but with this you can make them any size you want. Maybe you want them to be very small so they're not too noticeable, or massive so you don't forget about them. This makes it very customizable, so you can map the world out however you want. I've seen some people out there do some very cool maps, and now you can too. Number 8 we have Killcount. In vanilla, it just shows the total amount of zombies you have killed, but with this, it separates them into the methods you use to kill them. It will now show weapons, fire, and cars. 69. It's just a nice way to separate it and see what your most effective zombie murder methods are. Number 9. More description for traits. Similar to the Moodle mod, this adds in-depth descriptions for each of the traits, so you know exactly what you're choosing and what it will do to you. This will come in very handy when it comes to crafting your perfect build. If that even exists. I feel like this should absolutely be a feature in the base game, but thankfully adding mods is very easy, so you should absolutely get this one. At number 10 is the weapon condition indicator. In vanilla, if you want to know the condition of your weapon, you have to open the inventory and check it that way. But with this mod, you will know on the go, so no surprise breakages during combat, as long as you keep an eye on your hotbar. 11. Extra map symbols. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but it's definitely one for the map enjoyers, as it adds so many new symbols, which can come in very handy. Or maybe you just enjoy a nice looking map. Either way, you should definitely download this one, especially when combining it with the other map mods in this list. And there's a few more of those on the way, so make sure you stick around. At 12, we have better sorting. A messy inventory is no fun for anybody. This mod adds a whole array of new enhanced categories to make sorting your inventory a much easier task. Inventory management is a big part of the game, and if you're a hoarder like me, it can get quite overwhelming. But this simple mod makes it quite a bit easier, and one I would absolutely recommend. At 13, we have better lockpicking. This adds the mechanic of breaking the locks of doors, windows and cars using a bobby pin or crowbar. Also, hot wiring and ignition using a bobby pin and screwdriver, all of which are done with mini games. To get started, you'll need to read the Lockpicking for Dummies magazine. To do so with a car door, press V to open the radial menu and you can see the options. We'll go for a bobby pin first. And voila, we are in. Oh no, the lock is broken. So now we have to try with the crowbar. Going well so far. It's got a good animation, good sounds, and of course, mini-games just add so much to the game overall. And there we go, we are in. And now to hotwire the vehicle, you hotwire the engine, you have to find and connect 2 ignition wires. And there we go, we got it second try. And we are good to go. This has to be one of my favourite mods on the list, just because I think mini-games bring so much more to the game, and I would love to see some more mods with mini-games in them. 14. Car dashboard radio button. This is a simple one. Instead of wasting time opening the radial menu to turn on the radio, on the dashboard we have this little speaker, and if you click that, it will open the settings straight away for you, so you can tune in and listen to those hits. Number 15 is clean dirt. Nobody wants a messy and dirty living space, especially when you've dedicated so much time to making a beautiful base. But with this mod, you can clean up dirt and graffiti from walls and floors by using bleach and either a towel or a mop. Simply right click, clean dirt and select the tile. And with a few scrubs, it's as good as new. Look at that. A brand new home. I've never seen walls so white. Perfect mod for the clean freaks. At number 16 we have draw on the map, freehand drawing. If all of these beautiful new symbols aren't enough for you, then don't worry. You can now draw whatever you want on the map. Simply click draw, choose your thickness and fill, and get drawing. Yeah, you can draw whatever you want. It's pretty cool. Alright, you might as well hit subscribe while you're here. Thank you. At 17 is more starting locations. Knox County is pretty big, and in vanilla there's only 4 starting locations, which doesn't make too much sense to me. So this mod adds a few more. You get Dixie, a small trailer park, Phallus Lake, a quaint town, Valley Station, a growing community on the outskirts of Louisville, and March Ridge, a dense military town. It gets boring spawning at the same places all the time, so this will definitely spice it up. There's no reason to not have this mod, honestly. At 18 we have fuel side indicator. Now it can be very annoying pulling up to a gas station and not knowing which side to pull up on. And this simple mod makes it very easy. If you look here, the arrow shows which side the gas is on, making it a simple and swift process. No more faffing around. Simple as that. Ah! 19. Generator time remaining. In vanilla, other than the percentage, there's no way of knowing exactly when you'll run out of gas. So this mod tells you exactly how many days and hours till you run out of power. I'm a poet and I didn't even realise. 20. We have the Map Legend UI. Now when you're in a new city and you see all these different coloured buildings, you most likely have no idea what they are. But this little legend makes it a lot easier to navigate. For example, if you were ill, you'd know to aim for the pink buildings, which this place actually has none. So you might have to make a trip all the way down here to this small medical centre. Or maybe you're in search of a sledgehammer. Hard to come by, so you need to know where to look. While black is industrial, you can see a few buildings here and then these giant warehouses. A simple mod that can really help you out. And this whole combination makes for a very good map experience. 21. You stupid. We have the water dispenser. Water dispensers are quite big and heavy to drag back to your base. So this mod allows you to take just the jug full of water off the top. If you right click, you can take the bottle from dispenser. And if you carried one in each hand, that would only be 11 weight overall, which is easily manageable. Even keeping this in your inventory will allow you to auto drink from it, although it's quite big so you might not want to use it for that. But it does have a storage capacity of 250, which is very, very useful, especially if you use it to collect gas. There's 250 gas right there. That might be the best use for it, to be honest. There we go, gassed up and ready to go. And it actually changes colour to show you what's inside, which is pretty cool. You don't want to be accidentally drinking that. 22. Rain cleans blood. When you're absolutely slaying zombies, there's inevitably going to be a lot of blood. And nobody wants to be constantly covered and surrounded by blood, unless you're a bit of a sicko. Also, large amounts of blood splatter actually decreases your performance by quite a lot. So this mod will help with overall performance and running the game well. So quite simply, over time, as it rains, the blood will wash away, meaning there's no cleaning you need to do, and you can let nature take care of it. 23 is titled Has Been Read, and this mod shows you all the maps, books and magazines that you have read or are currently reading. So if a book has this red question mark, it means it has not been read at all. If it has this yellow icon, it means you have started reading it but have not finished it yet, and the ones with no icon have been completed. A simple change that makes it a lot easier to keep track of your reading habits, because it can get confusing sometimes. At 24, we have Easy Corpse Move. Now you don't want piles of corpses around your base, as that can give you corpse sickness. And it's just quite unpleasing to the eye. But moving corpses is quite a tedious task that takes a while. But this mod does help speed that up. If you right click, and at the bottom you have the grab dump corpse control. You click, pick up a zombie. You walk over here. Let's just say you place your zombie here. You can just leave this context menu open, walk back over. No need to click every time you're doing it to drop the corpse and pick it back up. You can simply walk over, do it again and again. It's still a slow process, but it definitely speeds it up and saves a lot of clicks. Either way though, it is still a very boring chore. 25. Players on map. As you can see, I have no friends, so I'm going to have to show you some screenshots. As the name quite clearly suggests, this will show the other players on the map. So if you're on multiplayer, you shouldn't get lost and separated for too long. And I'm surprised this isn't an option in the base game, to be honest, because this comes in handy. Definitely for new players too, who don't really know the map. 26. Reorder the hotbar. This mod really speeds it up if you want to rearrange your setup. You can simply click and drag to swap around your items, put them wherever you want, to get the perfect hotkeys ready for combat. Honestly, very useful. 27. Reorder containers, which allows you to click and drag each of your bags and arrange them however you want. Another very simple tweak that may come in handy. 28. Swap it. Now this one will come in very handy during combat. So what this mod does is when swapping items, instead of putting them away, it will swap the spot that you pulled it from. For example, this katana in my hands and the shotgun on my back If I wanted to swap it out by pressing 1, it would put the katana on my back and equip the shotgun, which is a real nice change, because in vanilla, that katana would be straight into my inventory, and to get it out I would have to open it and equip. But now I just press 1 and quick switch between the two. It's beautiful. This also works with items on your belt too. So I have this kitchen knife. If I press 2, it will pull out my hunting knife and swap it. I think this is probably one of the most useful in this whole list. I love it. 29. Choose your spawn. If all these other options weren't enough, you can choose to spawn absolutely anywhere on the map, apart from on water, which will cause a crash. So to choose your spawn, you click next, and in the sandbox settings you will see choose your spawn. And here we have the coordinates. You will then load up the Project Zomboid map project and choose wherever it is that you want to spawn. I'll go for this giant mall out here. Then if you look to the left, you will see your coordinates, sal and relative sal. You want to take note of these or copy and paste them into the game. So I'll enter those. Very straightforward. Continue on with next. Spawn in and we should be in the car park of this big ass mall. And here we are. It all went well. Maybe you saw my unique base location video and you want to go out to the fort, which is all the way out here, but you don't really want to take the long journey. Well, you could simply spawn there and try and survive for as long as possible. Although that would be a tough challenge, I'm not gonna lie. And while we're here, I'll show you number 30. Bigger character avatar. When you check out your info panel, you'll see this avatar is a lot bigger than normal, which I think is great because you want to get a nice view of your character. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see all of that. It's not just for this in-game either, it's also when you first create your character. It's actually very small in vanilla, so it's nice to be able to get a proper view of the character you're creating. Especially when you've got drip like Milo here. 31, we have dig worms. Worms can be pretty useful in Zomboid. You can use them as bait in fishing and trapping. You can even eat them if you're really desperate, and they never perish. Instead of wasting time foraging or digging furrows, with this mod you can simply right click and dig for worms. And this will keep going until you think you have enough worms. As you can see, it's not overpowered, you don't get a worm with every dig. I haven't even found any yet. Maybe we should try another spot. Oh, there we go, we finally got one. Only -2 for the food, so it's not a viable food source, but it can help you with catching fish. Let's speed up time and see how many we can get. So it does take a long time per worm, but it's definitely better than foraging or digging furrows, especially since you can't remove furrows. Your world would be very ugly if you use this to search for worms. So if you're an avid outdoorsman, fishing and trapping, this is the mod for you. Or if you just like to eat worms, you strange person. 32. Extended Campfire. So currently in vanilla, it takes either 2 logs or 3 planks to create a campfire kit, which is quite a lot if I'm being honest. This mod adds 2 new items, wood chips and dry grass, both of which can be used as fuel. And also it replaces the vanilla campfire kit recipe, now only requiring wood chips or twigs, making for a more realistic fire starting experience. Dry grass will fuel for 1 minute and twigs for 15. Wood chips for 25. And you can use the dry grass as kindling to light the fire. Then you can sit down and enjoy the heat, without having to spend too much time foraging and cutting down trees. Beautiful. And finally, 33. Condition on dash. This allows you to know the condition of your vehicle while on the move. If you hover over the 2 icons here, you'll be able to see the condition for the engine at 96% and the battery at 100%. Also shows the remaining amount, which is cool. Saves time from getting out and checking the whole vehicle mechanics, which takes quite long to even open the bonnet. So guys, that is all 33. If you want to download them all in one click, the link will be in the bio to the Steam collection. You should definitely check it out. But either way, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.